You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to Rom Wills, About That Business. More men need to have a side business. Now, I was going to say side hustle, but, some people get so technical. I say, look, let me just say business. And this is something I talked about in my book, Nice Guys and Players. Even if a man has a six-figure job that he's very happy with, even if a man has just, it could be a service job. He could be a fireman and he's called to a police officer. He's called to no matter what. Or it could be just an ordinary 9-to-5 job that he might not be excited about, but he's taking it because he's committed to being responsible, taking care of his bills. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know even though I promote business and everything, everybody can't be an entrepreneurial. That being said, I believe I know men should have some type of side hustle, something that they control. This is why I say this. Understand the basic nature of men now. I know I got a few ladies who might listen to this channel, but this is for the men. Understand the basic nature of man is to have something that he controls, have his own boundary. Like I've talked on my main channel about men and boundaries. And every man need to feel like there's something that's his. Now, I understand, you might have to work that 9-to-5 or whatever. We all had to do it. Even while I've been in business, there's been periods I've had to work a 9-to-5. That's just the nature of it. And quite frankly, a lot of entrepreneurs, even if they've been in business for years, might get a part-time job or something just to keep some money flowing. That's just nature. But in general, men need to focus on a side business because he controls it. And you know what? Honestly, it don't even have to make that much money or very little. It can make pennies. He controls it. If he got a six-figure job, don't really need that side business, he still controls it. In fact, it could be an activity that might not even be a business. He need to have something side anyway. It's just money makes it just more interesting to do it. He need to have something. He need to develop something that he's good at, that he can exchange that service for money. See, this is what it does. Understand, we don't hunt for food. Men don't hunt. Most men don't hunt for food. Most men in modern culture don't hunt for food. If they do hunt, it's more for sport. We don't have to hunt for our substance. All we have to do is make enough money and then just find the right places to buy the food. All right. But that hunter thing is still within men. And one thing about a 9-to-5 job, steady jobs, you can get to the point where it's not work. It's just where you at for 8 hours or even 12 hours. It's where you at, and it's like, it's very routine. It's there. The thing that a side business does is something that you totally control, but then you have to be active. It forces you to be active to get that money for that business. Understand that. Now, I know I said a few minutes ago about just doing it and, it could be a hobby, but no, you want to make money. And more men need to have that. And it's not for the community. I mean, if you got a side business and you make $1,000, say you make $500 in the year, you might not even have to file a tax. I need to look in on that one. Because I've always made more than 500. But there's a certain, threshold you got to get to even have to bother to file a tax on it. But whatever the case, you still want to make something. Even if it's pennies, it could be something you doing for $1. In fact, some people might even do that, do a service, say you just pay me $1. Whatever. You still control that. It brings a certain something out of you. It brings that hunter out in you. Because a lot of men in trouble because, they got a full-time job, but like I said, you can chill out on some jobs. You can get to the point where you're not working. Now, I've mentioned I've worked in government offices, I've vended, worked in retail. There were times when I was in retail, it wouldn't even work to me. It's just someplace I had to be for 8 hours. And I was just doing stuff, oh man, this is fun. Seriously. And when I was actually working retail full time, I actually still had my business going, so it was the perfect thing. It was the day job. So it was just like, in fact, I'd be on a retail job sometime working on my business. I keep a little notepad on me and make sure nobody see it and be like, yeah, let me write this down. And when I get home, seriously. So that's the thing. That's the thing. But the thing is, you control that. You the one who control that. That's the important thing. You control it. You're responsible. You're making the decision. And that does a lot for you. You creating the rules how you going to conduct that business. You creating who you going to do business with. It's your choice. Because even, I'm going to tell you what, and it's a different vibe. Like, okay, I mentioned I work retail while I still had my business. It was a totally different vibe from like a weekend where I'm vending and then going to that retail job on Monday morning. It's a totally. It was crazy because even though the last retail job was pretty. Every retail job, I've only really had two, and both of them were chill. They ain't had to do much work, right? And any inconveniences or some were very minor, but you still had to still play by those rules. Now that's totally different from when I'm vending and I'm having fun. I could decide if I wanted to give somebody a discount for whatever reason, I could do that. I could give them a deal. Total choice, even a choice of who I really dealt with as a customer. Total freedom, have fun, take a break when I want. And then you contrast that when you still got to be someplace for a few hours, only take a break when they allow you to take a break. It's just like, wow. And then you can't let your full personality go through. You get a bad customer or something like vending. If I got a bad customer, I'd look him in the eye and say, you know what, you need to keep going. In a store, you got to be, oh, yes, sir. It's like, shit. Customer's always right. So I was like, shit. So, but that side business is more about your own sovereignty. So, anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. Let's go make that money.